following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah!
Go Cowboys!
This is Talkin Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
C.D. Lamb, touchdown. End zone, Jake Ferguson. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
And now your hosts, Isaiah Stanback, Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez, and Kyle Youmans.
It's a Talkin Tuesday edition of Talkin Cowboys presented by Black Rifle Coffee Company, live from the Star in Frisco, Texas, in the SWBC studios. Welcome in, everybody. We've got Patrik "No-C" Walker, Josh Rodriguez,
Hi.
Paul Bastidas running everything in the back. What's up, Paul? I'm Kyle Youmans. Glad you're with us. We've got a Talkin Tuesday on our mind today. Give us a call here in the next segment, 888-855-2297.
That's 2297?
2297. TL, what is it?
TLK CBYS.
CBYS. That's the last four.
It's the only show.
I was going to say the podcast that's so good, they named the number after us.
I would love to continue to take credit for that, but that number was there a long time before this group of Talkin Cowboys was there. I'm just saying.
Don't ruin the bit with honesty.
It was there for
All day.
You know this whole
longer.
podcasting thing, we three collectively started that.
We made this
is.
happen.
100.
Yeah.
Forget about the old talk. No, I'm just kidding. Those old Talkin Cowboys guys are the best.
They're on his way.
Yeah, he's on his way down.
He's coming downstairs.
Wait a second. All right. It is a Talkin Tuesday. Of course, Cowboys getting ready for their bye week, or getting ready for their post-bye week of practice. Kind of a odd schedule with it being a Monday night game coming off of a bye week. So today, Tuesday, is technically Monday.
Correct.
So there would be some light stuff today. Then we're getting into tomorrow, which would normally be a Tuesday, which is a player's off day.
Correct.
And then you would go into it's just
They'll be back at practice on Thursday.
There you go. So you got a little bit of time until the Cowboys even get back on the practice field in a crazy week of practice, Pat, as they continue to look forward to the Raiders.
Yeah. So right now it's I hate the phrasing "turning the page" because that's not what they're looking to do. It's about moving forward with Marshawn's legacy. So as it stands, looks like they have some things to honor him in the works. A helmet sticker. They're expected to wear a helmet sticker for the remainder of the season. They're gonna. I'm told they're gonna have some T-shirts that the players wear. Cool. In warm-ups and during the game under their uniforms and things like that. So right now it's about the challenge of the grieving process, but also understanding that there is a game coming up on Monday, and hopefully go win it for Marshawn, but. And we'll see who is available for that game. Listening to Stephen Jones on 105.3 The Fan yesterday, I left that interview with a question mark over my head for Savon Revel. So with the Marvion Overshown, sounds like, pour concrete on that. Sounds like he's definitely going to be back. He's right on schedule. I like those words.
I like those words.
And Stephen Jones kind of, tripled down on that yesterday with 105.3 The Fan. And I thought that he was initially lumping Savon Revel into that, but then he kind of peeled off his answer for Savon Revel, and he said
He didn't lump?
He didn't lump. He didn't lump. He peeled. Okay. He peeled.
Okay.
And he made it appear that while there has been no setback for Savon Revel, there's also no guarantee that he's active on the game day roster for Monday Night Football.
Because you have to activate him onto the roster because of the 21-day practice window that had already been opened.
Correct.
The last day for them to do that would be when? Is it this Wednesday?
Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday. So they could
still
keep
have
him on there one more day, one more week, right?
They could. They definitely could. But I mean, they could also. Because depending on how the league mandates they handle Marshawn's spot, like you mentioned, there might be a roster exemption. If there's a roster exemption, then I could see the Cowboys saying, "Hey, it's not gonna, we're not gonna have to release anyone if we go ahead and just activate Savon Revel to the 53-man roster right now." But again, even if they do that, it sounds like there's no guarantee that he's going to be on the game day roster come Monday night.
Yeah.
So just something to watch. Again, no setback has been reported. I've heard of no setback. He's still on track to to make his debut after the bye. It just sounds as if, based on Steven's conversation with the Fan yesterday, that while Overshown is still concrete to take the field against the Raiders. It might be another week maybe before we see the debut of Savon Revel.
And I think as excited as I am to see Savon Revel out there and to get him back into the fold for a position group that severely needs help outside, I'm okay with taking your time here. I'm okay with making sure your third-round pick that has first-round upside, that has all the tangible things that you can see on a practice field come to fruition first without a training camp, without an entire full season of college football to play with. He only played 3 games last year, and he's been through this rehab process for over a calendar year now. Take your time. Don't rush it back. Don't mess anything up, because I think the more that you rush him back into the fold, we see things like what we've seen with Kalen Carson, where he's put in some tough situations, and he's put in a position group that really needs people just for bodies outside. Savon Revel, you got to develop him the right way, and you got to put him in the right spot to be successful. And I think rushing him back out there, if he's not entirely 100% without certainty, you talked about concrete ready, take a minute on Savon Revel and let that thing develop.
I'd argue that you still want to see what Kalen Carson's capable of.
Sure.
I think he had a really decent game. Granted, it wasn't an excellent game against the Arizona Cardinals as a whole, but he had good snaps. I mean, just wanting to see more out of him and not necessarily having to rush Savon Revel back right away. I think it's a good thing to have Kalen Carson out there sort of on an island with a spotlight on him just to see how he does going forward.
He's kind of been forgotten about a little bit in this group.
Well, he's only had one game.
Because he's only been back for a little bit, and he's been in and out of the lineup even since he started playing as a rookie. I think if you can continue to develop him now, alongside Revel, that's 2 guys that you can possibly have that take a big step forward. Not to say that Kalen Carson's ceiling is the same as Savon Revel's, because I certainly don't believe that to be the case. However, Kalen Carson does have a ceiling that he has not reached yet.
Oh, for sure. And I think you're hopefully with less spotlight on him now sort of in this defense, because the kind of the blame is being tossed around all over the place. It's not just Seatbelt Carson that we hate nowadays, right?
Man, that nickname came back to bite him, huh?
It really did. It really did. And, you know,
for
good reason. When you have that expectation, you know, when everyone's going into the season, and, of course, that draft was like, oh, Seatbelt Carson, it's going to, you know.
He was great in training camp.
Yeah.
You could see him just with it the whole time.
But now we know, you know, look at the Kyrie Williams of the world. You know what I mean? Training camp doesn't necessarily show how you're going to perform through the rest of the season.
Difference being Kalen Carson, he's year 2. I mean, he's
absolutely.
Give him a little.
He's got time to kind of bounce back and make the seatbelt name stick.
And that's why I liked his performance in the Cardinals game, and hopefully seeing him going forward now that he's healthy 100%. I really want to see what he's able to do. And if you're not bringing back Savon Revel right away, I want to see the spotlight sort of on Savon Revel.
Agreed.
Or on Kalen Carson.
Agree. And kind of keeping to the secondary for the news and notes, Stephen Jones also told 105.3 The Fan, he threw a name out there that I wasn't anticipating he threw out there as far as I'll say likely based on his tone, being ready for the Raiders, which was Malik Hooker. So I wasn't expecting that. He threw Malik Hooker's name out there as far as
he's still on IR, and they haven't activated his practice window.
Yeah, right. So I personally, I don't see that happening. But again, he clearly knows something that we don't know that made him feel so confident that he said Malik Hooker's name in the same breath as, you know, DeMarvion Overshown and guys that are coming back from injury, and how, you know, most of those guys are on the defensive side of the ball. It'll be interesting, because this safety unit most certainly needs help, and we know that Malik Hooker was not playing his best football even before the toe injury, and most certainly not as he tried to battle through the toe injury. So you can only hope that when Malik Hooker gets back on the field, you see the Malik that we saw in training camp, because that was peak Malik that we were seeing in training camp.
Peak Malik.
Even the first game of the year, he played so well against the Eagles that I think it showed that he could continue that into game.
That's what you need when you get Malik Hooker back, especially for a safety unit that's just been so ravaged by injury and just not been able to figure things out even before they were ravaged by injury. You know, a part of that goes to the coaching on the defensive side of the ball. You know, guys not being utilized in ways that we believe they should be. So in that capacity, you get Malik Hooker back. I don't know that it happens this week. It sounds like Stephen Jones is kind of bearish on it, which, you know, we'll see. I'm bullish on it because, again, like you said, Kyle, he's not returned to practice yet. Last time we saw Malik Hooker, he was still off to the side with the rehab group, doing work with Britt Brown and those trainers. So
we've only seen him for a short time. A sort of peak of Malik.
I will say this: it is a peak.
P-E-E-K.
A peak.
Yeah, peak. Why'd you cover one?
That's smooth. So I don't ever want to take my eye off this guy. Like
you can't.
This guy is
too fast.
He's handsome Squidward.
He is. Good looking dude.
Handsome Squidward. I will say this though. They are coming off of a bye week. So, we weren't able during the bye week to see Malik Hooker do any rehab. So, but of course the rehab continued during the bye week. So maybe he made some serious strides.
Yeah, just taking some big steps.
Yeah, maybe
forward.
He took some serious strides in this 2 weeks off that, kind of pushes him towards why Stephen Jones kind of feels confident there's a good chance that he comes back. So, so there you go with the news and notes. There's at least a solid chance that Malik Hooker comes back this week. There's as certain as certainty can be that barring anything happening this week, DeMarvion Overshown will return. And we'll keep an eye on Savon Revel. He does have a solid chance, but it's just not as certain as we were led to believe before the bye week.
Yeah. It's funny. I was talking with Nick Eatman yesterday upstairs, and we were kind of brainstorming ideas for the High Five article that I write late in the week. And we were talking about guys coming back. And it was like, okay, let's start on the offensive side. Offense is pretty healthy. You feel pretty good about the offense as a whole. And I mentioned that yesterday with the offensive line. Right now you're complete on the offensive line. Then you look.
They haven't had a lot of reps together, but you want to see them improve in that aspect and have more chemistry going forward.
1,000%. And I think you'll start seeing that with an extra week of rest, or extra week of health, and then you turn around and you play a team like the Raiders on Monday Night Football to try and prove that you're moving in the right direction.
And then just the Eagles right after.
And then you get into the gauntlet, which we'll talk about here in a second. But as we were brainstorming, we kind of both realized there are going to be 5 new faces. There's a good shot there are 5 new faces on the defensive side. Of course, the trade acquisitions of Logan Wilson and Quinnen Williams, which, Quinnen Williams is an absolute game changer. That's going to continue. That's going to 1,000% upend the entire look of the defense just with his presence.
Correct.
Then you add some depth at linebacker with Logan Wilson. You get possibly one of the safeties back, either Dono or Malik Hooker. It sounds like Hooker's moving in the right direction there. You get Savon Revel back, and then hopefully you get you will get DeMarvion Overshown back. Hopefully you get Savon Revel back. So 5 guys: Williams, Wilson, Revel, Overshown, Hooker, and then maybe Dono if you end up getting him back or wherever he ends up being too. This is a different look defense.
Yeah, it looks completely different.
That's half of your starting lineup that's completely upended. Not that everybody's going to be a starter there, but they all could be. They very well could be. Most of them could be. And so with all that being said, question mark, I think, not to say that this defense is going to be world beaters now, but what have we said this entire season is you got to just be serviceable.
Yeah.
We were just talking about the earlier this season, week 2, I think it was, talking about Green Bay being world beaters, and they mustered up 7 points.
7. 0 for most of the game.
That was an ugly game.
That was disgusting.
I loved it.
You liked it?
I loved it.
Yeah.
It was premium hate
fun.
watch.
Yeah,
football, especially if you're a Cowboys fan.
Pretty brutal watch.
It was brutal, but I love the defensive aspect of it, man. It was back and forth.
And then the way it ended with the kick just flying.
That was rough. That was rough. I tell you. But it was fun to watch, man.
Yeah,
it was just to see them both flailing around.
Hate stuff with both of those teams.
Yeah,
I wish they could have ended in a tie too.
Like 0-0 tie.
Yeah, like it ended up 7-7 or something like that down the stretch. Would have been great. Speaking of the schedule that's at hand, and speaking of what the Cowboys have in front of them, I have it on the rundown today that we kind of take a roadmap through what it would take for Dallas to make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And the more that I look at this roadmap, the more it's almost like we're in Lord of the Rings. We're trying to get to
Mordor.
Yeah, it's a Mordor. We're trying to make it there.
Who's Smeagol?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know.
It's Paul. Paul, are you Smeagol?
Is it Paul? I don't know. Beam's not here.
I'll be Aragorn.
But there you go. Oh, again, we go handsome Squidward.
There it is,
now.
handsome Squidward.
But yeah, it's rough, and you need how many wins to make the playoffs? You probably need to be double digits, right?
Yeah,
double digits in a tie.
Yeah,
so 10,
Love
6, and 1.
But I don't see 8-1 getting you in.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I don't see it.
So
I don't know.
How do you get to that point? based on the schedule. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No. I want to see where the conference is at. But you go ahead, Patrick.
No, I mean I'm pulling that up as well on my screen, and when you look at the Eagles moved to 7-2.
Yep.
The Seahawks are absolutely cooking as well. They're at 7-2. Then you got Detroit at 6-3. We know they can just blow the doors off of any opponent on any given game day. Tampa, and now we're talking division winners.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Tampa, I think they take their division. Rams 7-2. I think they take their division. Can't believe I'm saying this, but I mean Chicago versus Green Bay. That's kind of where that's your sweet spot. One of those guys you're going to have to overtake. Unfortunately, you lost to one and you tied to the other. So Chicago has the tiebreaker on you for the wild card spot. You would love to be, if it's between those two teams, you would love it to be you versus Green Bay as far as tiebreakers are concerned, because it's a tie. Like, you have a tie that needs to mathematically be figured out. So then it goes to like strength of schedule, strength of opponent, things like that. Oh, you need either the Bears or the Packers to just start falling backwards.
Yeah.
You need one of those two to start falling backwards. I think
or the Rams or the 49ers.
I think the 49ers are I think they're starting to fall backwards.
You need one team out of the NFC North and one team out of the NFC West to just start falling off.
Yeah,
one more injury for the Niners. They're going to need the water.
That's what I mean.
I
think they're starting the process of falling backwards.
I think Isaiah got a call from them this week.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That would make sense. I would love to see that.
Isaiah in a 49ers uniform.
Absolutely, he's still got it, man.
He won't do it.
He won't.
No.
Between Cowboys and Seattle, you think he's going to?
Like he just.
I don't know. Richard Sherman did put on a.
He literally just had back surgery.
Yeah.
But I'm like, he's strong, isn't he?
Hey, free money. Sign and then go to IR. So yeah, your sweet spot is hoping that Chicago, Green Bay, San Francisco start moving backward, and that Carolina doesn't suddenly try to get hot, because they had a little bit of a streak.
They did
before they started to kind of cool here recently. So yeah, those are going to be the four teams that you're really looking at: Chicago, Green Bay, San Francisco, and I'll say Carolina. I don't have confidence in Minnesota. I think they're any given week kind of team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're a playoff team though.
I don't really see it, man. I mean, granted, I don't want to like absolutely derail the show.
You need so much help, man.
You need so much help, and you haven't helped yourself. You have 3 wins against teams that are not very good.
Yep.
But I think we've talked about. I'm glad that the team is getting better. Like you just said, you're going to have 5 new defensive faces on the team, and
you're going to trend in the right direction.
Absolutely, and they're going to go on a run here. I definitely feel that way, but I don't know if it's going to be enough.
It's going to have to be like an ungodly run.
Yeah.
You're going to have to go like, what is it, 8-1 down the stretch to even give yourself a shot?
But I do think the
7
second
wins.
Yeah, I do think the second half 2025 season of the Dallas Cowboys is going to be much better than the first half of the season.
God, I hope so.
But I just think you've set yourself back so much. And, even Patrick was talking about that. If you take that loss against the Cardinals,
that's the one.
Your chances are at, making the playoffs are, 11% now?
Yeah, you needed that.
I'm shocked that it's even that high. Like, I'm shocked 11% is even there.
I do feel like, and I feel like I know where Josh is going with this. You're likely going to sit at the end of this season, and you're going to probably see the Cowboys go on some kind of a run, and it's going to give you so much hope. And when it's all said and done and the smoke clears, there's a more than solid chance that they're on the outside looking in.
Yep.
Because they lost to the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's going to be the one.
And the Bears.
I don't know if I can say the Bears, because it looks like the Bears are trending toward the playoffs.
And they kind of kicked your teeth in.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
I mean, they
Panthers too.
Panthers are trending up.
All losses are, in my eyes, are unforgivable if you're competitive. But when you look at the Bears, it stings a little bit less because, hey, it's like they're trending toward.
Then they're finding a way to finish,
and they're lighting up the scoreboard here recently. Like, what the hell is going on with the Bears? But the Cardinals were just so inept, and you made them look like world beaters.
Yeah, they were down.
The very next week, they went back out and looked even more inept than
Seattle.
they did before they were
38-7 at halftime.
That isn't very good.
That's what an elite
and we lost to that.
Yeah, that's what a contender is
to
supposed to do to a bad team.
Yeah.
They're supposed to kick their teeth in.
Yeah.
So Seattle did. They showed the Cowboys what to do. Cowboys didn't do it. I just feel like that Cardinals game is going to be the one.
It's going to be the haunting.
That's going to be the one.
It's going to haunt you
That's
for a
the
while.
ghost. It's right here. That's the ghost. So you're gonna. I don't know. You have so many mistakes that you made in the first half. So much to clean up. Might just be a little bit too much spilled milk to mop up.
I think so, but as long as this team gets better, I'm happy to see that in terms of like the future of this team. I mean, like I said, I think the 2025 season is what it is. I think you've done enough damage to yourself now at this point that it's really, really hard. Like we said, 11% chance for you to make the playoffs at this point. But the pieces that you've added, I think, will make you guys better and speak well for the future.
And I'll say this, and shouts out to Melvin. I see you. The thing is, no, I mean, I'm not saying that sarcastically. So I mean, he's making good points in the chat. So are a lot of other people. So great engagement, great conversation, guys, ladies and gentlemen. I want to be clear that I'm not saying the Cowboys will go on a run. I'm saying if they want a shot at the playoffs, they have no choice but to try to go on a run. Now, if you're asking me, if you say no seed, what are the odds of them making that run? NGB.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah.
I want to say they're going to kick the Raiders' teeth in, especially with the new additions and the returns that we're talking about. Logic says you will, but I'm kind of scarred by, taking overtime to beat the Giants and then losing to the Bears in the fashion you did before the Bears even knew who they were. And then you lose to the Cardinals 27-17. So I don't know.
Kobe Brissett made you look silly out there.
Now, even if you handle the Raiders, you got the Eagles, you got the Chiefs, you got the Lions. That 3-game stretch right there, I think, tears your run to shreds. Let's say you split with the Eagles. Great. You then need to get a 2-game win streak going against Patrik Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. And then you need to get a 3-game win streak going in Detroit against the Lions before you can then look at the Vikings and say, okay, this is not a breather game, but as compared to the previous 3 opponents, kind of a breather game. That 3-game stretch is where the season lies.
Let me ask you guys a question really quick, though. Monday night, you guys destroy the Raiders.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say it's very convincing.
Okay.
Defense looks brand new.
Awesome. Yeah.
Right? How does that impact your feeling going forward? Because I wouldn't say that's a great barometer how you're going to play against like we just said, the Eagles, the Chiefs, and the Lions.
I think it would feel a lot like the fool's gold that was in Week 5 when Dallas dismantled the Jets. That's kind of where I would feel is.
So you wouldn't trust it?
No, not quite.
Good on you.
Now, if you turn around and you win another game, I mean, who do they have first out of that run? It's Philadelphia.
Eagles.
Philadelphia.
You turn around and you beat Philadelphia at home, and you look good in that game too. Then we can start talking about this being.
You beat the Eagles very convincingly. Then it's like, all right.
Then we can make something of that.
But then again, that's a team you tend to split against, right? That's a team that you play pretty well. And granted, the first game of the season, I mean, you had a chance to beat them. So I don't even know if I would take that into account.
I think
you know what you should also take into account?
That team is 7-2. I think I would take it into account.
Again, it's a team that you tend to split with.
It's a rivalry game.
I wouldn't see a beat down against the Chiefs.
I do think
if you beat down the Raiders and you turn around, you beat the Eagles, even if it's a tight game, I think I would start saying, all right, maybe this worked. Maybe this
I need all
team's
three.
got it. I would love all 3. Don't get me wrong, but I think my optimism would start kicking in after the Eagles game.
I would say you would have to, for my optimism to start kicking in, you would not only have to kick the Raiders into oblivion, but I would need you to do more than simply defeat the Eagles.
I'm cool.
It would have to be a statement win. Like, I mean, convincing.
Control the game.
Leave no doubt.
Not like last night.
Remember the Titans.
Not like Packers-Eagles last night.
Right.
Not
that game.
That's not going to do it for me. But I
know,
will
if
say,
you win a 10-7 game, you can win some games.
what I will say is, folks need to keep in mind of everything we're talking about. There's an added hidden challenge, hidden difficulty here for the Cowboys, and that is
side quest?
The dates. There's a side quest. That's the dates that these games are being played on.
Oh man.
Okay. All of the difficulty that we're talking about, as far as, you hope you win against the Raiders, but then you got Eagles, you got Chiefs, you got Lions. Well, let's look at this. Monday Night Football, and then you got Sunday, so that's a short week, and an even shorter week thereafter because they play on Thanksgiving, 4 days later, against the Chiefs, after you play the Eagles, which is a very physical team that you're going to take some bumps and bruises there, and you don't have time to recover before Patrik Mahomes comes back to Texas.
Nope.
This is what I mean when I say, by the way, you don't get a mini bye after that because you got Detroit December 4th. So that's Sunday.
It's a Thursday.
It's a Thursday. So it's only
Thursday.
only 7. So you don't get the benefit of the mini bye after that.
Then you get the mini bye
got
after Detroit.
Monday, Sunday, Thursday before you get the extra couple days to prepare for, the Minnesota Vikings. So it's NGB.
Yeah.
NGB. That's what I mean when I say
this is what we're talking about, getting your business done and out of the way before this gauntlet that you have of a schedule.
Might be a little bit too much spilled milk to mop up is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It doesn't look great.
There's a lot on the line these next couple weeks, and it is not looking good. But guess what? We're still going to be here no matter what here on Talkin Cowboys. And so are you. Talkin Tuesday, 888-855-2297. Give us a call, 888-855-2297. We'll answer some phone calls on the other side of the break right after this.
Every day begins with a promise to work hard and to build a future. That's why we're here, providing the tools, expertise, and John Deere equipment you have relied on for generations to help you get the job done right. We're with you. That's our promise to you, because no matter the project or the challenge you're facing,
we're with you. We're united.
If you're looking for fresh American roasted coffee that gives back, you need to head to your local grocery store and pick up a bag of Black Rifle coffee. That's right, America's coffee is now available in the coffee aisle of a grocery store near you. Black Rifle Coffee Company is veteran-founded with a mission to give back to those brave men and women who have served our nation. Every bag, box, or can you purchase helps support that mission. Head to your local grocery store and roast yourself some Black Rifle coffee today.
I'm home. Hey, Mom, before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you...
Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow.
Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service, guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impact 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
How's it going? You see that Cowboys game?
Oh, I watched. Been seeing some good things.
Totally. They have some talent.
Yup, some great talent.
And they got some fight.
Hoping this is the year.
Me too. Oh, I'm Cody, by the way.
I'm Travis.
Nice to meet you, Travis. Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys!
Make a new friend based solely on their shirt choice. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Copyright 2025 Bank of America Corporation.
Back to Talkin Cowboys.
Back here on Talkin Cowboys, presented by Black Rifle Coffee Company, the official coffee of the Dallas Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by Invisalign, the official smile of the Dallas Cowboys. Back with Patrik Walker, with Josh Rodriguez. I'm Kyle Youmans. And guess who's back? His name is Chris Beam, and he's got the sounder for some...
It's Talkin Tuesday. Pick up the phone, don't delay. Chat it up, spill your mind. Tuesday's here, it's your time. Call us now, let's unwind. Talkin Tuesday, talkin'.
It is a Talkin Tuesday here on Talkin Cowboys. Oh my goodness, I just looked at Twitter. The Mavs fired GM Nico Harrison.
Wait, am I back?
Wow. That's wild.
Why?
I'm wearing a Legend shirt today, too.
Why would they do that?
There's a lot of reasons.
But I'm thinking I'm back.
Wow. That's crazy. Well, I don't want to go too far into that because that would take up our entire show. All right. John from Burlington, North Carolina is now on Talkin Cowboys. What's up, John?
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Doing great. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, it's good to be on with you again. I hadn't talked to you since last year when I had a few words of wisdom for you about the Commanders.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just wanted just a couple questions and a couple comments, and then I'll hang up. First of all, Brian Schottenheimer seems to be getting a lot of grace. We talk about Eberflus a lot, which he is terrible, but this Schottenheimer, I don't see so much great on his side. I mean, I know the offense started out pretty good, but he started out talking about 7 irons and drivers, I think he's down to his pitching wedge as far as I'm concerned. So maybe we ought to look at doing what I said last year.
That's good.
Maybe we need to do whatever it takes to get Kyle Shanahan down there so we can have some real football played in Dallas once again. Secondly, what's the deal with Butler? He was playing great last year before he tore his ACL. I understand he's back healthy. He's better than anything we got out there currently, for sure. I mean, I hate to say it. I don't know if you remember, I talked about Andrew Booth last year being. I mean, he would look good. This secondary is so bad, and I can't even believe I said that. And finally, if you guys could just give my man Isaiah a message about Trey Lance. I told you he couldn't play last year in that Commanders game. He couldn't even hit a wide open. The guy that went on down to Carolina, he couldn't even hit him. Rico, he couldn't even hit him wide open in the end zone, or we'd have beat them last year with our four stringers. And finally, about my man Bosh Lombardi, I see him on the break. I don't think he's always bad-mouthing Mike McCarthy. Just as a quick reminder, he's the only coach in the last 20 years that went 12-5, 3 consecutive years, and the playoffs do matter. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you have a great day.
Thank you very much. There's a lot to unpack there, and lots of points certainly in that regard. I'll start with
that pitching wedge line was
the criticism of Brian Schottenheimer. That was the first thing that stuck out to me. Is I think there's fair criticism from a play calling standpoint.
Yes,
I think he said it. This offense started hot. They were rolling in the right direction. They were kicking on all cylinders and putting up points, even if they were in losing efforts. They were still having success. And then over the last 2 games, Denver followed by Arizona, the offense has just been inept at times. And I think part of that is play calling. Part of that is execution. And I'd said it yesterday on the offensive line. I think the offensive line's got to play better. But what do you think about I think we've seen more than a 7-iron. I think we've seen the driver a couple times. But down to the pitching wedge, do you think that's the case for Coach Schottenheimer?
Why would you use baseball analogy with me, dude? What are you talking about?
Baseball analogy? Because I said pitching.
No, I mean, I think there's fair criticism for Brian Schottenheimer as a play caller. I talked about it last week, especially after the Cardinals game when you're, what is it, first and goal, or is it second or third, whatever it was. You're at the 4-yard line and you're running so well, and Rico Dowdle, excuse me, Javonte Williams is playing his A off, and you choose to throw the ball 4 yards out twice in a row. That was a choice. That was a choice from Brian Schottenheimer, but I think he's sort of, at least the offensive line, getting in a groove. I think the more confidence that he has in the offensive line going forward, once they have more chemistry, taking more snaps together, I think he's going to be a little more consistent and reliant on the run when he believes in it a little bit more. But at least for me, I think it's fair to criticize where Brian Schottenheimer's at right now, but I don't think you criticize the fact that he is a leader, for sure.
No, yeah.
And I do agree with the criticism because this offense has stalled lately.
Yeah.
But then when you look at the totality of why they're stalled, it's a combination of questionable play calls from Schottenheimer, but then when they're great play calls or play calls that would produce chunk yardage, you're not getting protection up front. You can't get the run game going. You got self-inflicted wounds that, Brian Schottenheimer is not the one telling you to false start, right?
Yeah.
He's not the one telling you to hold a guy, right? So, that accountability lies on the players as well. So, but I've seen enough so far from Brian Schottenheimer over the first several games to believe that, I don't think he's all the way down to a pitching wedge. I can't get over because that was a bar. I think he'll start pulling the driver back out, but it starts with, and I agree with Josh here, it starts with having trust in your offensive line that they're going to re-solidify and be able to, control the game. Because if they don't control the game, then you're going to see Brian Schottenheimer try to call plays that he otherwise wouldn't, because he lacks that trust in that moment of the offensive line. So one thing begets the other. Offensive line starts playing well again. It begets the trust.
Less mistakes on that side.
From Brian Schottenheimer, which then begets, him being more confident and calling plays that trust that offensive line. And then that involves going downfield more. That also involves running the ball more with Javonte Williams. So I think it starts in the trenches, but I'm in no way, shape, or form saying that Brian Schottenheimer escapes accountability, because he absolutely does not as the leader of this team. As far as Mike McCarthy goes, credit to McCarthy for having those 3 12-5 seasons. That is not easy to do, especially with the spotlight of Dallas hovering above you.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the playoff success was not there, so you got to keep that in mind as well. But you'll probably, all you Mike McCarthy fans that still exist, and I get it. I mean, he's one of the best coaches in NFL history. He just couldn't make it work here in Dallas. You'll probably get your fix when he's coaching the Giants.
Ooh. Prediction.
Bold
I
prediction.
said it with my chest.
Wow, you did.
I think McCarthy to the Giants.
He took a year off for a reason. And,
I've been saying that the whole time. Took a year off to let time, fade the picture in people's minds as far as what he was unable to do in Dallas. And, here we go, the Giants.
We had a lot of conversations about Mike McCarthy at the end of the year. I'll just stick to what we talked about back then.
Yeah.
Whenever that decision was looming, whether or not to bring him back, I'll kind of keep it to that. All right, Mike in New York is our next caller. What's going on, Mike?
What's going on? First and foremost, my prayers for Neil, and obviously I'm a diehard Cowboys fan. You guys know that, and it's listening to your show yesterday. It was heartbreaking. Obviously, it's tragedy as far as being it's bigger than football as we talk. You guys have made it clear and stuff, but it's just my thoughts and prayers for for organization stuff, and I'm hoping that our defense improves with the Williams and guys that we added on defense. I feel like should be better. I mean, it's hopefully I feel like what we did on defense definitely got better. So hopefully we'll see. So
I appreciate you, Mike, as always, and of
Thanks
course,
for the love also.
Yeah, I meant to say this at the beginning of the show, but for all those that kind of sent us messages and support yesterday, we got a lot of Twitter DMs and mentions and things like that about the support from yesterday's show. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
That was 4 guys talking real. For sure. It was heartbreak. It certainly, and it still is to today. But we appreciate you being patient with us through yesterday's show and a lot of emotion that was flying around the building yesterday.
Some things are bigger than football, though, man.
Absolutely. Mike talking about the return of 5 new faces on the defensive side of the football, a couple from the trades, a couple from the back end of injury rehab and things like that. Which one are you most excited about? Because I know all year long, Patrick's been all over this DeMarvion Overshown train, but can the trade of Quinnen Williams upend the excitement of what DeMarvion Overshown brings?
I don't know that it can upend it, but I think that those trains are neck and neck, man.
You can't do that on tracks, It's not allowed.
That's true.
The Federal Railroad Commission doesn't allow it.
Okay, then yes.
You can pass each other.
Then yes. Just for the sake of your point that you're trying to make as a moderator, then yes, I do think that narrowly Quinnen Williams' acquisition could edge out the return of the Marawn Overshown. But I mean, I say that to say, how exciting can this Raiders game be? I mean, obviously we're going to honor Marshawn, and we're going to continue to honor Marshawn. But inside of that, DeMarvion Overshown, the fan base, including myself, we've been salivating at the thought of this young man getting back on the field and hopefully remaining healthy and what he can do for this defense. But at the same time, we sat here and we said, you're probably going to have to give him some grace for him to get back to that point, right? Because he's just now coming back. But then you go and you trade for Quinnen Williams. Okay, one thing that's going to help DeMarvion Overshown get back to form pretty quickly.
It's going to help
a little bit. Is dropping Quinnen Williams right in front of him, right? Yeah. So, for that purpose, for that reason, if for that reason alone, I'm going to say that the Quinnen Williams trade does slightly edge out the excitement to have DeMarvion back. But, be not mistaken, I am still through the roof and over the moon to see DeMarvion Overshown back on the field, knowing the adversity he's had to overcome yet again. Yeah. But man, what do you got with the Raiders going against the Raiders? You got the debut of Quinnen Williams to a lesser but still important degree. You got Logan Wilson debuting. You got the return of DeMarvion Overshown, possibly the debut of Savon Revel. This is under the bright lights in Las Vegas.
It's going to be interesting.
Play some ball.
First ever regular season trip for the Cowboys to Las Vegas, by the way.
Yeah, it was preseason.
Yeah, they went to the preseason game a couple years back. All right, let's take our second break. When we come back, we've got a couple more callers on the line as our Talkin Tuesday wraps up here from the Star in Frisco. More Talkin Cowboys after this. If you're looking for fresh American roasted coffee that gives back, you need to head to your local grocery store and pick up a bag of Black Rifle coffee. That's right, America's coffee is now available in the coffee aisle of a grocery store near you. Black Rifle Coffee Company is veteran-founded with a mission to give back to those brave men and women who have served our nation. Every bag, box, or can you purchase helps support that mission. Head to your local grocery store and roast yourself some Black Rifle coffee today.
If you shout, "How about them Cowboys?" you have that undeniable passion that's the heart of Cowboys Nation. And if you like to drink Dr. Pepper, you love the unique blend of its 23 flavors. Together, your one-of-a-kind fandom paired with the one-of-a-kind taste of a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper is the game day lineup that can't be beat. Better yet, gather your Cowboys and Dr. Pepper fan friends to watch the next game and crack open a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper for everyone. The wins will be even tastier. It's a pepper thing.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
I'm home. Hey, Mom, before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you...
Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow.
Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service, guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
Back to Talkin Cowboys.
Back here on Talkin Cowboys, presented by Black Rifle Coffee Company. Wear your Cowboys gear to a Black Rifle Coffee brick and mortar store and get 10% off your entire order on Cowboys game days. You see this sweet hat that Josh is rocking right here?
That's the second compliment I got. Patrick, you got a great hat too.
I'm telling you.
Patrick has a great hat. But
I'm getting a lot of praise on this hat, but I've worn this before.
Have you on the show?
Yeah.
Hat's fire.
You like that?
I don't know if I remember. I like it. It's sweet.
I think it's how it complements the pullover, the fleece pullover.
That's what it is.
I think it just matches the handsome Squidward aesthetic 100%.
There's like half of our audience that's probably like, what is handsome Squidward? Just look it up.
Just look it
Josh,
up.
look at he's about to pick up my recycle bins.
Yeah. Oh, no. Did you hear Beamer?
What did he say?
He said,
Josh, you look like you're about to pick up my recycle bins out back.
Oh,
wow.
That's awful.
Says the guy that wears a Native American fleece in the back. Come on, dude.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't need
shots
Beam
here.
coming at me for fashion, dude. Dude tucks in his polo every day.
What's wrong with tucking in the polo?
Oh, my God.
My polo's tucked
We're
in.
not friends.
I don't tuck my polo in.
Yeah, I know you
Yeah,
don't.
we don't,
All right.
we didn't talk about fashion. Beam.
Yeah. Now let's turn it over to Nebby in Silver Spring, Maryland. What's going on, Nebby?
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Of course.
Listen, I have a comment, and I also have a question. My question is, am I crazy for believing that despite the fact that our offensive line has struggled at times this season, am I crazy for believing that Connor Riley has done a good job so far as our offensive line coach? My comment is the only way we can make the playoffs this season is by winning the NFC East, and considering that the Eagles are now 3.5 games ahead of us, be a tall order for us to win the NFC East. But of course, anything can happen. Take care. Have a great week. Thanks for being patient with me, and I love you guys. Take care. Bye.
Love you, Nebby. Appreciate you, man. And what do we always
God bless,
say
buddy.
about
Nebby knows ball?
Exactly. And I think his point there is valid at the very end when he's talking about Philadelphia being the team to catch in order for Dallas to make the playoffs. We talked about that in the opening segment. You need two teams from two separate divisions to start falling off, or you can just try and catch Philadelphia. Their remaining schedule: Detroit, Dallas, Chicago, LA Chargers, Vegas, Washington, Buffalo on the road, and Washington. So they got Washington twice in the final 3 weeks. That's kind of an interesting, unique deal. And then, I mean, they could lose to Detroit. Dallas could try and help themselves there, but of course that's a game where Philadelphia should be heavily favored. Chicago's been playing better football. The Chargers have been playing pretty good football. Raiders are meh. And then at Buffalo, like, Josh Allen's going to be ramped up by then too. So it's possible that the Eagles end up with 5 or 6 losses in there. That would mean the Dallas Cowboys have to run the table.
Yep.
In order to
maybe one more loss.
Right.
And it can't be the Raiders.
It can't be.
That's where Nebby's point comes in. It's a tall order. To quote Nebby, it is in fact a tall order. It's so much damage has been done over the first half of the season that it requires damn near perfection over the remainder of the season, and you're just anything is possible. True. But it's so unlikely that you are damn near perfect suddenly. Damn near perfect. Over the remainder of the season. Yes, you're getting, upwards of 5 new faces on the defensive side of the ball. Yes, your offense is most likely going to snap back and get back in their groove. However, to play virtually perfect football every single week, that means your playoffs start right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you can't lose another game.
Right. Your playoffs start right now, so to speak. And that's a long time to mentally be in that space.
Yep.
Every single game is a must win. Every single snap. And, I mean, you should have that thought process anyway. But realistically speaking, it ratchets up.
Given the sample size of what the team has given you so far, you cannot bank on that happening. You really can't. That would just be silly to think that way. But I think the one thing that you can sort of hang your hat on is that this team gets better. This team galvanizes and goes forward and plays good football. That's what's most important to me right now is playing really well and winning these games, winning the game that's in front of you, right?
Building in the right
going
direction.
1-0 each week.
You can do.
And that's all you can really do.
I don't want to skip over his point, but we got to get to our next caller about the offensive line. I think there's been ups and downs with the offensive line, but with the revolving door that they've had, I do give credit to Connor Riley and to Clayton Adams too, as the offensive coordinator that has his hands on this offensive line. I think you're going to start seeing their work pay off this week or the week after that with better offensive line play. I really do. I think the continuity up front is all you've been missing. And now that you've got your 5 guys back, I think it's going to start to click a little bit better.
What they saw in the run game early on in the season, even in training camp, is something that I didn't necessarily see coming to fruition, and it has impacted the team so far. And you can easily rely on this game, on this run game. Granted, the coaching staff hasn't necessarily done that in play calling scenarios so far this season, but at least for me, the stark difference between the run game last season versus this season, it's there, man. You have to have great confidence in it, and Connor Riley's done an incredible job so far.
Real quick to the Connor Riley point, I mean, he's also accountable for the offensive line struggles over the past couple of games. That being said, he's also accountable for, we can also be credited for the running game getting where it was in the first place. I remember we were sitting here at the same table talking about how the Cowboys were down 4 starters and you couldn't tell. That's Connor Riley.
Yeah, we did have that conversation. All right, final caller of the day on this Talkin Tuesday. Brian in Kansas City. What's going on, Brian?
Good morning, gentlemen.
What's going on? Good morning.
Hey, I was just thinking about the offensive line also, and so glad to hear from Nebby today.
Yeah.
I really wanted to know, so I don't think this is breaking news that the weak point appears to be the tackles. Do we have any options? Because we put in Nate Thomas last week, and he did not have a good showing in the part of the game that he got in for. Is there anybody else on the roster that you think, hey, maybe this is the person that could give us some stability there? I'll hang up and listen. It was good to talk to you guys today.
Appreciate you calling, as always, Brian. Always bringing up great questions. Here are your tackles on the roster right now. Tyler Guyton, Terrence Steele. Those are your starters, of course. Nate Thomas, Hakeem Adeniji. Would you like me to continue?
You can't.
Exactly. Is Johnny Cornelius? Maybe, but he's been mostly working at guard throughout the season. Maybe. Off of your practice squad or reserves, there's not really a whole lot there. So, they do have Jaron Christian, the undrafted, the signee from Cleveland this offseason, Christian, who was at training camp, I believe, or maybe right after training camp. But there's not a whole lot of option there. And we've had the debate. I know you and I talked about the Nate Thomas performance in a different light. I think you saw it as he didn't play well, and he didn't. And I agree. I thought he was put in a tough situation and didn't play well. I don't want to replace Terrence Steele quite yet. Mm-hmm. But if you need to experiment, he's the only one that I would be okay with that doing.
And we talked about this specifically, like you mentioned, a few episodes ago, before the bye week, where it's like you, as an organization, you have to decide what you want to do. What's your future with Terrence Steele?
Yeah.
Because if you feel like Nate Thomas might be the future at the position, then go ahead and unleash him now.
Maybe,
right? Yeah. But if you believe that you still have a future with Terrence Steele and that he can get back to form, then you ride that wave. I don't like the waffling, the back and forth, right? Where it's just like, okay, well, let's start one, and if he doesn't play well at halftime, we'll swap him out. You're ruining the continuity of what Connor Riley is trying to do there. So pick one, stick with it, and I think that they're going to pick Terrence Steele and stick with that because, I think Nate Thomas has a future. I'm not going to say I believe Nate Thomas is a Pro Bowl caliber guy, but I think he has a future at potentially being a starter. I just don't know that you're going to find that out right now.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Chris Beamer, but is you're able to get out of Steele's contract after this season, correct?
I think you're right.
I can take a look here if you'd like to know.
Yeah, I want to see Nate Thomas.
You want to see him at right tackle?
I do.
Kind of flip him a little bit. Okay,
you just don't really have any options.
Yeah,
you need to look at those. You need to look at Tyler Guyton, you need to look at Terrence Steele, and you need to just say, play better ball more consistently. Play better ball more consistently, not just in patches or pockets. No pun intended with the pocket thing, but you just need to play better ball because Hakeem Adeniji, Nate.
Who's going to be here in the future? Who's going to be your offensive lineman?
And don't please
gotta go.
Don't look at free agency because it's not there.
We asked you a question, Chris Beamer. We'll see you next time. Gotta go. More Talking Cowboys for Patrik "No-C" Walker, Josh Rodriguez, Chris Beam in the back. I'm Kyle Youmans saying so long. We'll see you next time.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!